On Monday, Canadians elected a new government to stand up to President Trump and to build a strong economy. Canadians also sent a clear message that their cost of living must come down and their communities need to be safe. As Prime Minister, I've heard these messages loud and clear, and I will act on them with focus and determination. Les Canadiens et Canadiennes ont fait entendre.
Canadians made their voices heard with a voter turnout rate that hasn't been seen in the last 30 years. Nearly 20 million Canadians voted, and even more of them voted in early voting than ever before.
The engagement of Canadians at rallies, on social media, and around the dinner table was very high. And while different visions were put forth by various contenders, we disagreed agreeably, and the leader of every party quickly and graciously accepted the results. At a time when democracies around the world are under threat, Canadians can be proud that ours remains strong. As I've been clear since day one of my leadership campaign in January, I'm in politics to do big things, not to be something. And now that Canadians have honored me with a mandate to bring about big changes quickly, I will work relentlessly to fulfill that trust. As I stressed on election night, I am committed to working with others, governing as a team in Cabinet and caucus, and working constructively across parties in Parliament, working in real partnership with provinces, territories, and Indigenous peoples, and bringing together labor, business, and civil society to advance the nation-building investments that will transform our economy. In the coming weeks, I will unveil more of our plans to engage with Canadians as we embark on the biggest transformation of our economy since the end of the Second World War. This will be an incredibly exciting time as we take control of our economic destiny to create a new Canadian economy that works for everyone. We will begin to set out that new path for Canada with a new cabinet to be sworn in on the week of the 12th of May and the recall of Parliament on May 26th. We will have the privilege of welcoming His Majesty King Charles III, who will deliver Canada's speech from the throne on May 27th. Her Majesty the Queen will join this visit. This is an historic honor which matches the weight of our times. Je sais que beaucoup de Canadiens et Canadiennes partagent mon...
I know that many Canadians share my enthusiasm about this.
To the immediate priorities of my government, beginning with our relationship with the United States. As I've stressed repeatedly, our old relationship, based on steadily increasing integration, is over. The questions now are how our nations will cooperate in the future and where we in Canada will move on. Peu après le début de campagne électorale.
Shortly after the start of the election campaign, I met with President Trump, or I spoke to him. We both agreed.
Canada se rencontrent après l'élection pour trouver des terrains d'entente entre nos deux pays. On Tuesday, I had a very constructive call with President Trump, and we agreed to meet next Tuesday in Washington. Our focus will be on both immediate trade pressures and the broader future economic and security relationship between our two sovereign nations. My government will fight to get the best deal for Canada. We will take all the time necessary, but not more, in order to do so. In parallel, we will strengthen our relationships with reliable trading partners and allies. Canada has what the world needs, and we uphold the values the world respects. Au cours des derniers jours, je me suis entretenu avec le président Macron, le président du Conseil européen d'Acosta, le Premier ministre du Japon, Ishiba, et le secrétaire général des Nations Unies, Guterres. J'ai aussi parlé au président Zelensky, auprès de qui j'ai réaffirmé l'engagement du Canada envers le peuple ukrainien. Dans les semaines et les mois à venir, je saisirai toutes les occasions d'échanger avec nos alliés et partenaires. pour bâtir des relations renforcées, fondées sur des valeurs communes. Nous allons faire preuve de leadership à l'international. Nous aurons d'ailleurs l'occasion d'en faire la démonstration en juin, alors que le Canada présidera le sommet de G7. We will reinforce our strength here at home by building an economy that creates jobs, grows incomes, and withstands shocks. Pour y arriver, nous allons bâtir une seule économie canadienne.
We need to build
au lieu
one Canadian
de
economy
13.
instead of
D'ici la
13.
fête du Canada, mon
By
gouvernement
Canada Day, my government
à l'atteinte
will reach that objective.
cet objectif. We will remove federal barriers to internal trade by July 1st to help unleash the full potential of Canada. We will work with provinces, territories, and Indigenous groups to identify projects that are in the national interest, projects that will connect Canada, deepen our ties with the world, and grow our economy for generations. We'll make the Canadian government a catalyst for these projects, not an impediment. And we'll always be guided by our conviction that our economy is only strong when it serves everyone. That means bringing down costs for Canadians and helping them get ahead. So we will put more money in Canadians' pockets with a middle-class tax cut that will take effect by Canada Day, saving two-income families up to $825 a year. We will protect the programs that save families thousands of dollars a year, including pharmacare and $10 a day daycare. We will expand the Canadian dental care plan to 8 million Canadians, saving the average family over $800 per visit. To lower costs for first-time homebuyers, we will cut GST on new homes at or under $1 million, allowing them to save up to $50,000, and we will lower the GST on homes between $1 million and $1.5 million. These tax measures will provide immediate relief, but they won't be sufficient to make housing affordable again. For that, we have to build. We will address failures in the housing market head-on, unleashing the power of public-private cooperation at a scale not seen in generations. We will slash development charges in half for all multi-unit housing. That's about $40,000 off the cost of a two-bedroom apartment in Toronto. And we will create an entirely new Canadian housing industry in modular and prefabricated housing using Canadian technology, Canadian skilled workers, and Canadian lumber. We will build houses faster, at lower costs, with a smaller environmental footprint in construction and greater efficiency once families move in. And to kickstart these efforts, we will create a new entity, Build Canada Homes, and provide $25 billion in financing to private developers. Nous allons construire 2 fois plus de logements par année et créer une toute nouvelle industrie.
We will construct 2 times as many homes each year and create a new industry, construction industry, with Canadian technologies and qualified Canadian workers and Canadian wood.
Will focus on keeping Canada secure as a sovereign nation and Canadians safe in their communities. We'll build a stronger Canadian armed forces to protect Canadians, defend our sovereignty, and support our allies. We'll strengthen our border security with 1,000 more CBSA officers, as well as scores of dog teams, drones, and scanners to fight the traffic of guns and drugs. We'll strengthen Canadian law enforcement by hiring 1,000 more RCMP officers and giving law enforcement more tools to fight crime. We will toughen the criminal code and bail laws for those threatening the safety of Canadians, including making bail harder to get for those charged with stealing cars, with home invasion, human trafficking, and smuggling. Nous allons bâtir la confiance en notre système de justice, et nous allons faire de même.
We will
avec notre
build
système de
confidence in our
l'immigration.
justice system, and the same thing
We
with
will
our
return
immigration
our
system.
immigration to sustainable levels by capping the total number of temporary workers and international students at less than 5% of Canada's population by the end of 2027. That's a sharp drop from the recent high of 7.3%, and this will help ease strains on housing, on public infrastructure, and social services. At the same time, we will work to attract the best talent in the world to build our economy. Canada has what everyone wants. We're a confident nation that celebrates our diversity, that believes in and practices free speech, that respects the rule of law, that has a vibrant democracy. We value innovators and builders. We trust science. We protect our immense natural heritage. For Canadians abroad thinking about returning to build their lives in our nation, there's never been a better time to come home.
In all our actions, we will be guided by a new fiscal discipline. Our government will spend less so that Canadians can invest more.
Day-to-day government spending, the government's operating budget, has been growing by an unsustainable 9% every year. We will bring that down to 2%, less than half the average nominal growth rate of the economy. We will not cut any transfers to provinces, territories, or individuals. Instead, we'll balance our operating budget over the next 3 years by cutting waste, capping the public service, ending duplicative programs, and deploying technology to boost public sector productivity. We will use scarce taxpayer dollars to catalyze massive private investment. By working together, we can give ourselves far more than the Americans can ever take away. By working together, we can build Canada strong.
To overcome these challenges, Canada has to be united. Guided by this approach, opposition leaders. I told them of my intention to work with them to make our government efficient, workable, to support workers and businesses, and to bring our economy back on track. I also spoke with the premiers of provinces and territories who are essential partners with the federal government, and with them I hope to be able to continue the work that is needed that is needed with premiers that we started before the election, when we decided and agreed to bring down interprovincial trade barriers and help labor mobility in the country.
Canadians in the NHL play for a variety of teams passionately against each other. But when they're in a once-in-a-lifetime series such as the Four Nations or the Olympics, those same Canadians come together to win it all. During elections, Canadians play and cheer for different teams. Now that election is over, and we are in a once-in-a-lifetime crisis. It's time to come together to put on our Team Canada sweaters and win big. Il est temps d'être unis.
It is time to unite. United, Canada can do difficult things that have seemed impossible.
Now is the time for ambition, to be bold, to meet this crisis with an overwhelming positive force that is a united Canada. It's time to build, and my government is getting to work to build big, bold, and build now.
TVI யூடியூப் சேனலில் இணைந்திருக்கும் நேயர்கள் அனைவருக்கும் எமது நன்றி. எமது காணொளி தொகுப்புகளை தொடர்ந்து நீங்கள் பார்வையிடுவதற்கு கீழிருக்கின்ற பெல் பட்டனை அழுத்துவதனூடாக நோட்டிஃபிகேஷனில் பல காணொளி தொகுப்புகள் உடனுக்குடன் உங்களை வந்து சேரும். அருகில் இருக்கின்ற முக்கிய காணொளி தொகுப்புகளையும் பார்வையிட தவறாதீர்கள்.